Hi food lovers, it's Emily Neiswanger, your registered dietitian from Anywhere Nutrition, and today I'm going to show you how to batch cook healthy snacks for the week. I know that preparing things ahead of time is going to make your life so much easier, and that's why I'm all about meal prep and batch cooking. And we're going to do the same thing we do with our meals. We're going to batch prep our snacks. And I think you're really going to like this one because this one's kind of a nice mix between a healthy sweet treat, and it's a little bit of that savory sweet and salty. So today we're making chocolate banana pops. This is available on my website. You can go and download the recipe for free. You can download it to your device, or you can print it off to put in your recipe book. So let's jump right into it. What you need for this recipe is a couple bananas. You're going to need peanut butter, dark chocolate chips. We're looking for something over 70%. It's a great place to start if the people in your household don't love dark chocolate, are more milk chocolate fans. 70% is a great place to start, and then slowly just start working your way up higher the more you make this type of a recipe. These are dark chocolate baking chips. We bought them at our grocery store in the bulk section, but you could buy a bar of dark chocolate. You could also use like baking chocolate chips. You're gonna need about 3.5 ounces of those. If you wanna make them into banana pops, you're gonna need popsicle sticks. If you wanna just keep them as little bites, which I'm gonna do with half of this recipe, you don't need a popsicle stick. We'll just be dipping them in without a stick. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're gonna do first is start by slicing our bananas. I've already sliced up one, just to give you an example. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a technique that I actually learned my very first job working at a Dairy Queen making banana splits. So I'm cutting off both ends of this banana and then slicing it just down the middle, but not all the way through, just basically through the peel. And then I'm going to peel it open. And this is a way to keep the banana for making your countertop a mess as well. So just keep this recipe super simple. And then I'm just gonna go in and slice 1/2 inch thick slices of the banana. You can see how small the slices are there. And of course, bananas are gonna come in so many different sizes. So this recipe might make 12 pops for you. It might make 15. And so just adjust as needed. The great thing about this recipe is if you have leftovers, we're just going to keep them in the freezer, and you can pop them out from the freezer and snack on them that way, or let them thaw out and snack on them when they're back to room temperature. So here's my banana all ready to go. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my peanut butter. You can adjust this recipe to use any nut butter you'd like. You can use cashew, almond butter, sunflower seed butter. There's even watermelon seed butter now. This is a peanut butter we made at home. It literally is just ground peanuts, a little bit of salt, and then I believe we added a little bit of coconut oil just for the flavor of coconut. But if you're buying one from the store, what we're looking for is something that does not have any oils added. So no soybean oils, canola oils. Those are the cheap oils that get added to the ones that are in the grocery store. I would never add those in at home. And then something that's lightly salted if you'd like. No added sugars, so we're trying to stay away from those. So I'm just gonna grab, about 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of peanut butter. I'm gonna grab one of my slices, just top it lightly there. It might be helpful to refrigerate your peanut butter beforehand so it's not super warm and liquidy. So you see I'm making a sandwich there. I'm just gonna set them on a pan here. You can use a baking sheet, and if you line it with parchment paper, it also makes cleanup super easy. Or I'm just using a nonstick pan, and these will come out pretty easily. So I'm just gonna do the same thing for all the pops. I'm just gonna layer them here with the banana slices like that and put them in my pan. So the next step would be, if you're going to make them into banana pops, is to grab a stick and then to grab the top and the bottom of the banana pop. I'll show you here on the countertop, and hold them so you're not squishing out all of the peanut butter. That stayed pretty well. And there, I've made a banana pop. So this is going to go into the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to take them out and I'm going to show you how we dip them in the dark chocolate and coat them, and then we put them back in the freezer. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start. We have a pot going here with water on the bottom, a glass bowl on top. This is a makeshift double boiler is what we call it. So this is a way to melt chocolate chips. We're adding in about 3.5 ounces of chocolate chips. We're going to continually stir it so it does not burn. And we're also going to mix in some coconut oil. It's just going to keep a nice smooth consistency. So I brought this pot to a boil and then I lowered the heat and I've trapped the steam underneath. So we're just making a pot here of melted dark chocolate chips. Getting close there, and I have taken my banana pops out of the freezer. They're sitting here and we're going to work on dipping those. You don't want to keep them in the chocolate too long or they're going to start to melt and get soft and possibly fall off of the stick. So just a nice light layer of dark chocolate on there. Again, allow it to drip so you don't have that chocolate waste. Perfect. Just pulled my banana pops out of the freezer. They were in there for about 30 to 60 minutes after I dipped them in the dark chocolate. Let's give them a try. So I have half of them are on sticks and the others I decided to go without them. So let's give this a try. Oh my gosh, so good. They're perfect. These are still a little soft on the inside. Definitely would recommend keeping them in the freezer for the full 30 to 60 minutes. You can just kind of test it by wiggling the stick or wiggling the banana to see if it comes loose from the plate or the pan that you put them on. One other tip would be to grease the pan with a little bit of coconut oil before so they come off a little bit easier and you don't lose that bottom layer of chocolate. Because we're batch cooking these, we're going to now move them into our containers. So you have two choices. So if you're going to be consuming these mostly at home, maybe it's an evening or a nighttime snack, then I would take them and put them in a big container, keep them either in your fridge or your freezer. I think freezer is a great option. They taste delicious while cold. If it's going to be something you're going to take along to work with you or in the car, then I would store them in smaller containers. Again, about one serving is about 1 to 2 banana pops. You could do 2 to 3 more if you want more carbohydrates as your snack. So it just depends on what the serving size is that you're looking for. So I would use either of these containers, store them either in the fridge or the freezer. I would prefer the freezer. You can keep them out on the countertop, but no, they're going to get pretty soft. So that's how you make banana pops with peanut butter. And again, remember you can add toppings like nuts or dried fruit or sprinkles even on top while the chocolate is still warm. Happy meal prepping, everyone.